Hello, today I am going to talk about some of the most important events that occurred in the past decades. Globalization, terrorism, unipolar world, and the digital era, and give a small explanation to have a better comprehension of each concept. Globalization. It can be described as a process related to the interaction and integration, not only between people but also among companies, nations, and their governments, and it results in the expansion of international, cultural, economic, and political activities. This whole process is possible thanks to the information that is technologically related. Globalization makes possible the trade and investments that every country makes with each other. This process has important effects. For example, in the culture of states, the environment, its political and economic systems, as well as the developments of these either technological, scientifically, or socially. But why does it have such an important impact in the way that a state develops in all the areas mentioned below? The brief answer of these questions has to be that since the globalization includes many aspects like trade, politics, economy, and more, we should bear in mind that these aspects are the ones that form the way that a society is and the way that their economy or principal investments are done. Why did globalization emerge? Globalization has been happening since a long time ago. Thousands of years ago, people had been buying and selling between each other. The difference is that the type of money and rules were not the same as now. And also this activity had created bigger trade companies. A fundamental example of the globalization in ancient times could be the exchange of products through the Silk Road across the Central Asia that connected China and Europe between the Middle Ages. But why is the trade had this important and constant evolution? Policy and technological developments of the past few decades have spurred increases in cross-border trade, investment, and migration. In the years since the Second World War, and especially during the past 2 decades, many governments have adopted free market economic systems, vastly increasing their own productive potential and creating new opportunities for international trade and investment. Now, terrorism. According to the United States Department of Defense, terrorism is the calculated use of unlawful violence or threat of violence to inculcate fear, intended to coerce or to intimidate governments or societies in the pursuit of goals that are generally political, religious, or ideological. Within this definition, there are 3 key elements: violence, fear, and intimidation, and each element produces terror in its victims. In most cases, what caused the terrorist attacks of the 20th century? Terrorism, in many cases, is an answer to certain groups that do not have access to power and they arm to fight the big national states. Besides, the terrorism is an invasion of the Americans to justify where other countries can invade. When the ex-Soviet Union get over, who were the enemies of the Americans, they had to invent another enemy to keep wars and new terrorism and Islamic enemies. Unipolar world. Unipolarity is used to describe the power structure when one superpower dominates alone. After the Cold War, the United States surfaced as the only dominating power in the world politics, as there were no real challengers to their hegemonic position. This allowed greater room for the superpower to maneuver and to get involved in the international issues but not necessarily coincide with national interest. We can describe this new political situation as being a unipolar world. How does the end of the Cold War relate to the unipolar world? During the Cold War, I believe that the world was a bipolar one. This I said it because USA and the Soviet Union were the two main superpowers dominating the world. So after the end of the Cold War, United States remained as a victorious one and became the most powerful nation, meaning that it was recognized as the only superpower in the world, making us live in a unipolar world. Digital era. It is the historical period characterized by the existence of the digital technology. Since the invention of the television and the telephone, the world has traveled through a process of unprecedented technological advances. The computer has been a principal innovation that has marked the revolution. The continual development of the Internet has also marked a profound change in education, on labor and personal level, becoming a monumental platform for converting information of any type. Its global reach and immediate transition of data has led to a revolution in the way we communicate in all forms, by videos, message, voice notes, and more. How has the digital era influenced today's society? By making people more efficient in their jobs, students researching daily for information for homework and make society to promote campaigns of health, environment, politics, and more. Technology has given us the purpose to increase our levels of learning and progress in all aspects. Nowadays, people need technology for almost everything. Even reading books can be affordable by searching in the internet. School programs today make their students to start learning about computers. For studying online or working online, technology is a preparation for our future lives. That is all for today's explanation of the topics.